Welcome to Premier Academy's Lamar class. In this session, we will discuss few basics about loss of profit policy first. What is this loss of profit policy? It compensates the period commencing from the date of loss and ending not later than 1 year. This kind of a setback period, the period during which the business is severely affected. This sort of a period, it is called as indemnity period. So our loss of profit policy compensate the insured entity during this indemnity period. How it compensates? If there is a shortage in sales, that is not real loss to the insured entity. Then what is the real loss? The GP on short sales. Even if you operate your business in whatever may be the capacity, the entire loss in sales is not the real loss, because purchase doesn't come on its own. So you have to purchase also after all. So two components are there for your loss of profit claim. One is GP on short sales. Second is claim for additional cost of working. Now, how to calculate GP on short sales? I am simplifying a very big topic. It is standard turnover minus actual sales during indemnity period. How to take this? Take standard turnover plus or minus trend. Now, what is standard turnover? The turnover during indemnity period. Take same period last year. So the turnover which is parallel to your indemnity period is standard turnover. Example, we are having a 6 months indemnity period starting from, let us say, 1st January 2021 to 30th June 2021. Same period last year, 1st January 2020 to 30th June 2020, that would be called standard turnover period. I hope you understand. So that standard turnover plus or minus trend, you will get standard turnover, adjusted standard turnover or trend adjusted standard turnover. Deduct actual sales during indemnity period, we will be getting short sales, shortage in sales. Then apply GP rate on that short sales, we get gross profit on short sales. Do you understand this? So how to calculate GP rate? For that itself, the formula different from loss of profit approach. Loss of profit, you take previous financial year trading account. In that GP will be available, sales will be available, GP numerator, sales denominator into 100, you will get GP rate. Here for gross profit, the definition is net profit plus insured standing charges. That is gross profit. Net profit plus insured standing charges. Don't wonder, like I have to learn new formula, how I will remember, like that and all, don't wonder. Simple. If I ask you to compute gross profit from P&L, what will you do? Will you not take net profit and add the expense debited? That's the approach. Only difference, we are calling it as standing charges, insured standing charges. That is your gross profit. So that gross profit divided by previous financial year sale, that will give you GP rate. So you multiply that GP rate, you get gross profit on sales. Claim 1 over claim 2, claim for additional cost of working. After that, average class applicable and all that. So what is this additional cost of working? That hover around 3 different points. You should consider 3 points, whichever may be the lowest. That is what is permitted as claim. That is what is allowed as a claim. First one, actual additional expense. You have to take actual additional expense. Second one, the formula, actual additional expense into GP on AAT divided by GP on AAT plus uninsured standing charge. That is your second point. Third point, GP on sales generated using this additional expense. It is so logical to remember these 3 points. In another occasion, I will explain why they kept these 3 conditions. By the time, it will be very easy for you to remember. So now let us repeat the 3 points. One is actual additional expense. Second is actual additional expense into GP on AAT, means adjusted annual turnover, divided by GP on AAT plus uninsured standing charges. Third point, gross profit on sales generated using additional expense. Calculate amounts for all these 3 points, whichever is less, that is allowed as claim for additional cost of working. So this is the macro picture of your LOP claim, loss of profit claim. So this is basically to support the entity during that indemnity period. Actually, in real life, a business enterprise which suffered some fire loss, they cannot bounce back within few days. That is possible only in movies. Within one song, one person who is nothing will become everything. I'm not talking about any particular actor. Disclaimer first. Because every movie like that, they cannot show the real life instances after all. Now come back to our situation. Reality, it will take time for them to recover this policy, loss of profit policy, support during that period. So with this background, let's go to the question. So the question for the day, simple question. Here you are deciding the insurance policy amount. Two fundamental points which you already know. I'm just reminding you that one is insurance is taken for future. It is not for past. If you go and tell insurance company that I want to insure the past, insurance company will be happy because they can be selective. If there is loss, they will insure. Otherwise, they'll say, we don't want to insure if some fire accident occurred in that business entity. So that is really not possible. So insurance is taken for future. So if that being the case, you should consider anticipated increase, decrease, trend in sales, all those things. So remember now that one formula only required now. See how comfortable life is. Gross profit is equal to net profit plus insured standing charges. A trader intend to take a loss of profit policy with indemnity period of 6 months. However, he could not decide the policy amount. From the following details, suggest the policy amount. Turnover in last financial year, 4,50,000. Standing charges in last financial year, 90,000. Net profit earned in the last year was 10% of turnover, and the same trend expected in subsequent year. So if you calculate 4,50,000 into 10%, 45,000 will come. So that same trend they expect. Increase in turnover expected 25%. To achieve additional sales, trader has to incur additional expenditure of 31,250. I told you two components of claim while introducing loss of profit policy. One is GP on short sale, second is claim for additional expense. So this 31,250 should also be included as part of your insurance policy. Unless the question says you have to cover only 80% of the risk, remaining 20% to remain uncovered, which means not covered by insurance policy. Unless such intentions are indicated in question, you should always cover 100% risk factor. I hope you understand. If suppose there is a stock in the godown, unless the management intend to cover only 80% of the stock in godown, who are we to reduce their insurance coverage? That is not fair at all. It is risk coverage already. So it should be for the full amount. Now let us go to the solution. First, you should calculate net profit. If you calculate for 4,50,000 into 10%, 45,000 net profit. Do you understand? 45,000. Next, 90,000 is the standing charge. I told you the formula for gross profit. Gross profit, net profit plus insured standing charge. Just now I said, if they simply give standing charge, you should treat it as insured, because we cannot eliminate anything from the ambit of insured. So 45,000 plus 90,000 you add, you will be getting 1,35,000. Divide it by 4,50,000. Your GP rate will be 30%. As I was telling you just now, you are covering next year. You are covering future period. So what should we do? The increase in turnover, increasing trend 25%, you should calculate on 4,50,000. And that is next year sales. Calculate gross profit based on that. That entire gross profit you should cover. Then only risk-free for the given information. Add additional expense, answer will come. Now let us go to the solution. Let's go to the solution now. So here you are computing insurance policy amount, of course, for loss of profit policy. Loss of profit policy. I told you this popular formula just now. This net profit plus insured standing charge. That is what is your gross profit. That is gross profit. Orally, we found also 1,35,000 was the gross profit. So net profit first 4,50,000 into 10%. You will be getting 45,000 net profit. Let us go to the next. The next one, standing charges given in the question 90,000. There is no question of leaving anything uninsured because that is not given in question. So we are taking it as insured. Then the next one, 1,35,000 is your gross profit. Now the next one, GP rate we should calculate, and that GP rate is 30%. 1,35,000 divided by 4,50,000 into 100 will give you 30% gross profit rate. I hope all of you understand this. 1,35,000 GP, it has come, we calculated just now. This is your gross profit. Right? Gross profit. So GP rate, the formula if you want, GP divided by previous year sale, previous year GP, this is previous year GP, divided by previous year sales into 100, 30%. So then expected turnover for next year, because insurance policy is not taken for the past. In your life, you will never take insurance policy for the past. I assure you this. Legal channel, legally it is not possible. But first, no law permit taking insurance policy for the past. Don't ask me illegal things. Legally not possible. A fraudulent person may take insurance policy for the past for some reason. Let us not discuss that. Legally not possible. So expected turnover for the next year, we need to calculate. Current year 4,50,000, 25% increasing trend noticed, increasing trend given. Add that, you will get next year sale. That would be 5,62,500. If you are interested in the calculation, how this value has come, very, very easy. You should take 4,50,000, right? 4,50,000 into what we should take here, 4,50,000 into 125. Next year turnover, directly you can get in one line. Suppose you want to still present systematically, take 4,50,000, add 25%, it will tally with 562,500. So let us find the expected gross profit. That is what you should cover through this loss of profit policy. And that expected gross profit 168,750. How this number has come? Very easy. 562,500 into 30%. 5,62,500 into 30% if you take, you will be getting 168,750. Now we need to add expected additional expense that is given in the question, estimated additional expense. Add this, we will be easily getting the policy amount, and that policy amount is 2 lakh. This is what the trader should insure. This is what the trader should take the policy. This is your policy amount. So that policy amount is 2 lakh. This is how the answer can be arrived. This sort of questions were asked in the past also. So important considering the concepts covered. I hope all of you are clear with the solution. We are roaming around just one important basic formula in the context of loss of profit. That is actually the gross profit formula, which is net profit plus insured standing charge. I told it is profit and loss account approach. So no need to by heart anything thinking that it is a new point. No. From P&L, if I ask you to find GP, what will you do? Think on that. Only difference is it is called insured standing charge, not all expense. We don't take all variable expense at all. Insured standing charge. What is standing charge? Kindly refer study material, detailed explanation given. It is like expenses which remain unaffected by volume of operation. They are called standing charge. When that is covered by insurance policy, we call it insured standing charges. So the additional expense separate, that is a second component. First component include two things, net profit, standing charge. Together it is called the gross profit. Two components I said, GP on short sales, claim for additional cost of working. That additional expense of 31,250 pertain to second category. So we are adding that also to reduce the risk. This is called a mitigation of risk. To reduce the risk, you should go for optimum coverage. That is what we are doing in this question. Thank you.